Alright, we got the Taurus TX22 out here. It's the new 22 by Taurus. We're going to check it out today. It's 16+1 capacity. Comes with 2 magazines. There's everything else it comes with. Even comes with a little mag loader. And these mags also have a little feed assist if you want to pull it down that way, but I don't think that's really necessary with a 22. So it is brand new, not fired. Haven't lubed it. I did take it apart. There's a little bit of lube in there from the factory, so I'm going to run it straight out of the box, see how it does, see if we have any malfunctions. If not, then you know it's going to be reliable after we break it in and lube it up nice and good. So there's a little bit in there. We're just going to run it as is today, see what happens. Alright, to take it apart, you have to remove the magazine, pull the trigger, and then this tab here on both sides you got to pull down until it pops like that, and then the slide comes off. Comes apart like any other pistol. There's your spring, barrel. Then you gotta get over this piece here. There's no slot in the back for it. Press down, rack it back. So I got a whole bunch of ammo to try through it. I got your standard cheap Remington bulk pack here. Mini mags, standard velocity, and subsonic to see if it'll cycle those. Generally speaking, in a semi-auto 22, you always want to use high velocity ammunition so it cycles fine, but we're also going to try standard velocity and subsonic to see if it'll cycle those as well. And then I also got the velocitors, the Stinger, and even this copper 22 here, all super high velocity stuff. So we're going to try at least a mag of each. I'm going to load it up with mini mags first. So these will be the first shots that has not been fired yet. Pretty easy to load. I don't see why you need that assist at all, or the mag loader thing in the box. So there you go. Alright, so we're fully loaded up here. 16 rounds of CCI mini mag hollow point in each mag. So go ahead and run it and see how it does. Okay, so 22 is not going to knock over most of these targets. It just doesn't have enough energy to knock them over. But if you rapid fire on them and hit them 2 or 3 times in a row real quick, sometimes you can get them to knock over. So that's going to be a lot of what you're seeing me do here. But this first magazine here, I'm going to start out on my steel plate here, just to get familiarized with it. Okay, so first 2 mags ran flawless, no problems. Let's look at our target. Obviously there's like no recoil with a 22, so you can rapid fire pretty accurately. Alright, go ahead and try the standard velocity, see if it'll cycle that. And again, it's a new pistol, so the recoil spring will loosen up some over time, so even if any of these have an issue cycling later down the road, they may still cycle, but we'll see what happens today with it being new. I'm going to go standard velocity for the first mag and then subsonic for the second mag. Alright, first mag, standard velocity, round nose, and then subsonics are hollow points. Subsonics. Alright, so there's the first one. It ejected, but it didn't feed the next round, so it didn't cycle the slide back enough to grab the next round. So let's see if that keeps happening with the subsonics. Alright, so it fed the rest of them fine. Like I said, it'll loosen up some over time, so after a couple hundred rounds, it'll probably cycle subsonic just fine. Alright, I'll try a mag of velocitors, and then a mag of stingers, and then we'll go to the copper. And after that, we'll see how these thunderbolts run through it. As far as the trigger goes, it has a really great trigger, especially for a 22. It's not heavy at all, and there's like 0.5 millimeter of play once you pull it back like that, and I don't know, 4 or 5 pounds. It's a great trigger, especially for a 22. Like, the trigger on this is better than most of my real pistols, 9mm 40, 45. Alright, I'm gonna run it on these targets over here, see if we can knock them around or whatever. First mag, the velocitors. Second mag, stingers. We got another one with the stingers. Nope, that's just a failure to fire. Oh, I lied, it didn't eject. It went off, but it didn't extract the round. Alright, I'm thinking it's the ammo at this point. Look at this. We got a blown case. I've never even had that from CCI ammo. That case completely blew out. I knew as soon as I pulled the trigger something was up because it had a lot more kick. Get that out of there and we'll take a look at it. Alright, so there's the blown case. I've never had that happen. I've been shooting for 20 years. I don't even know how many tens of thousands, even 100,000 rounds of 22 I've shot, and I've never had a blown case. Heard of it. So, get this to focus. Well, it doesn't want to focus. There you go. That's what it did. It seems like when it's feeding these, it's scraping the bullet below it pretty well, but we're gonna get that one out of there since that one exploded on top of it. I'm gonna go through all these and all these, see what happens, because so far that's the only thing we've had malfunctions with. And seeing how that case blew out, I'm thinking that there's an ammo issue now with this lot or something. Let's see if I can, I don't know if there's a lot number on this. There's the info. This is their newer packaged ammo with the new labels and such. Right, here's the remainder of those CCI Stingers. Okay. I'll load it up again with, let's just go through all these Stingers and see what happens. Alright, there's 15 more Stingers. Okay, here's 15 more. So here's the last 5, and that'll be the whole batch. All right, there's another one. Another something. Fired case, no extraction. Now I will say on when I shot that first mag from here slower, I noticed one of them had lighter recoil than the rest. So I think what's happening is we're getting some dud rounds in here. We're getting some that aren't as powerful as the others, which is crazy for Stingers, but I noticed on a few when I was shooting it slower that I had less recoil, and I think that's what's happening on those shells that aren't ejecting. It's not giving enough kickback to eject the shell, which I would have a hard time believing if it wasn't for this blowout right here, because this one had too much powder. So, you know, having some not eject, even though the, I should have showed it, but the extractor claw was still hooked on the shell. It just didn't come out. And then we have this blowout, so I think I'm going to have to go with ammo problem. Slip in quality by CCI, which is crazy because I've never had any issues with their ammo. We had one that was loaded way too hot and a couple that weren't loaded hot enough, so they weren't ejecting. Yeah, look at that. What the fuck? That was cool. So that was a big explosion. Huh. Looks like CCI owes me a new barrel. You see that bulge at the end there? If this fucking thing would focus, I think we got a squib load in there from that last round. Should have caught it on camera. Hopefully it did. It blew the mag out on that last round, and there was a big, I could feel the shockwave from it. So that's cool. Keep recording here. Well, that fucks up my day. See, there's a bulge in the barrel right there. Well, let's take this thing apart, and I can pretty much guarantee you there's a bullet stuck in there. Never had that happen once in my life either. Better save this fucker. Keep it recording. You can see the bulge in it. There's nothing in it. My guess is that the previous round was stuck in it, and then the second one knocked it out. Which is why I had such a blowback that it blew the magazine out. Nice. So this barrel's fucked now. So there's the magazine. Took a chunk out of it also. Here's the other one. So, oops. There's all the numbers, batch or whatever. Whatever they're gonna ask me for when I gotta call them and tell them what happened. And we had a similar issue earlier. I thought I have to check the footage with one of these velocitors not ejecting also, so possibly a light load. So that could mean that this batch of velocitors is no good either. So there's the info for that. And I got a whole bunch of these velocitors and stingers at home, probably from the same batch. Considering what happened, the gun held up pretty well. Clear bulge in the barrel. And I bet you I put it together and it's still gonna run. Just obviously that barrel's fucked. So the mag shot out, but it still works. Well, it's not gonna feed very well like that, but I'll keep recording. I'd say the gun's pretty tough. The barrel's obviously fucked though. And so is this feeder on the magazine. Still recording? Don't do this. I just want to see out of curiosity. See if it'll still run, but I'm not going to run it. Yep. So I think that speaks pretty well for the durability of the gun. Even though we had an apparent squib load that got stuck and the other one whacked into it and caused hell, gun still runs. So that's shitty. I was having fun. So now I gotta contact CCI, I guess. Really glad I was recording all this. And see if I can get them to replace the mag in the barrel. So unfortunately, that's your review for the day. Ran great until we had an ammo issue. Definitely be part 2, part 3, all that. We'll do an update once we get it fixed. I'll let you know how it goes with customer service from either company. I should just have to call CCI since, well, I got that little fucker right there on video. It's pretty obvious what happened. So they should take care of me and get me a new barrel and a new mag. Let you know how that goes. We'll do some more shooting and reviewing. Plan on doing chronograph videos with this, accuracy tests, and even 100-yard shooting. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up for me. Please subscribe. Stay tuned. Thanks. I just found this too. So there's the first one that blew out that we caught. There's the bottom. There's the top. I'm assuming that last one that blew out on me. So there's that too. That's clearly the bottom of the CCI Stinger shell. So that must have been the last one that blew up on us there. Again, guys, thanks for watching. If you want to see what happens with CCI, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you'll be notified when I post another video. We'll see what CCI says, see what they do, and like I said, we'll be posting more videos of this gun once we get it back together. So if you don't want to miss anything, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell.